Welcome back. If we take a look at our course that we have done so far, it looks like we're about 50% completed. You can see here programming 1 should all be done now. We're now going to take a look at functions and see exactly how functions operate. So let me step back a little bit here. I'll use the table of contents to go right back to the definition of a function here. Okay, so it starts by explaining how to put together a hamburger. Okay, so you need a piece of bread, a patty, or a piece of meat, and maybe some pickles. And if you really like pickles, I like lots of pickles. And if you want it to be a double patty burger, maybe put another piece of meat in there. And finally, you need that top piece of bread. So I think that's pretty easy. Okay, and in the next slide, okay, we're going to get a sense of its purpose. So up here is your function. Now you can manually put it together like we did before. Let me click the reset button, or you can click the function and it does it all in one shot. So if I type this out, make a burger, okay, why do I know it's a function? Because it has a set of brackets. Now, those brackets are for putting in information. So the first piece of information could be how many pieces of meat do you want in there? Okay, and then what sort of toppings? Okay, or topping 1, topping 2, and so on. So let's do a very simple example. Okay, so let's say we're making a very basic burger. So we just need 1 piece of meat, and topping 1 will be a pickle, and topping 2 might be some ketchup. Okay, so but a function doesn't have to take information. It might be all ready to go, and you just simply have to call the function and it will make the burger. In this case here, all we have to do is just simply call the function and boom, there is our burger. So why do we use functions? Well, it gives us flexibility. So we can, in this case, our function is making a sandwich. What kind of sandwich is it going to be? A ham sandwich? Or is it going to be a peanut butter sandwich? Let's make it a peanut butter sandwich. And of course, you don't put pickles on peanut butter. You might want to put jam or jelly. And there we go. We are now ready to make our sandwich. So if you look up here, that's our function. These are our variables, and the values that we put in them are down here. And there is our peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So if we look at an example here, so make a sandwich, okay? So what type of sandwich do you want it? And that could be your first variable. And do you want any extras in it? So this top line here, that's our function, okay? And it's taking extra information, okay? So type, all right, is it going to be a hamburger, a ham sandwich, or a peanut butter sandwich? And what extras do you want on it? Do you want ketchup, jelly? So those are the variables, okay? So we have our function, we have our variables, and variables take values. So for type, we can say type, this is going to be a peanut butter sandwich. Okay, so peanut butter sandwich, and that is setting the values for the variable. Okay, so let's see if we can put this all together here. So we'll go to the next slide. Okay, and here we see we have lots of functions, lots of function calls. I want a sandwich, I want a French fries, and I want some sort of dessert. Now we can see the value of these functions. If we didn't have functions, we'd have to build it piece by piece. Add a piece of bread, add a burger patty, add some pickles, add another piece of bread. The function call puts it all together for us quickly. Likewise, fries, the way we want our fries prepared, and our dessert. So it really saves us a lot of time to make function calls. Now, in section 5, okay, we have an example here of using a function in code. So let's examine it. I'm going to put my, I'm going to copy and paste it in. Now recall when you see 2 forward slashes here, it's just comments. It's something for us to read, okay? It's not part of the code. The actual function starts right here with this line called function. So I'm going to push that down. So this is the comment. Okay, this is an example of defining a function. And here's the definition of our function. And here's another comment, how to use the function. Okay, so again, that's the comment, and this is using it. So let's look at how to use the function, and we give this a name. We call this a function call. We're calling the function. So we're using it, and when we use it, the computer, okay, has to come up over here, see the definition of the function. It's going to carry out those actions, and then it's going to return some result. Okay, so let's go through this piece by piece. We'll start with the function call. Okay, so the function is make a sandwich, and we're sending in 2 pieces of information. We're sending in 2 strings. These are not variables, and the reason why they're not variables is because they're enclosed in quotation marks. If we remove the quotes, then we're making our function call with variables. But for now, it's just going to be a string going in. So make a sandwich, and what information are we sending with our function call? We're sending a burger patty and pickles, and the comma here is the separator. And of course, we can add more information, but we're not going to do that right now. So let's quickly summarize. We have a function call, we're calling a function, and we're sending 2 pieces of information to our function, burger patty and pickles. Well, here's the definition for the function. The definition of the function says we have to take 2 pieces of information. In this case, the first piece is going to be a burger patty. That's going to be your topping 1. And the second piece is pickles. That's going to be a topping 2. We can change that. That doesn't have to be pickles. That could be ketchup, okay, or anything you want, tomatoes, okay. So we make our function call, and now if you notice here, we have some brackets, some curly brackets. This is an open curly bracket, and this is a curly bracket. This is where we close the curly bracket, and everything in the middle, that's the definition. Okay, so I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to work my way all the way down until I see the closed bracket. So we have curly brackets. So what are we going to do? So sandwich, that's a variable. Okay, it equals a piece of bread. Okay, plus, and we're going to add a comma here. Okay, and what are we going to add after it? Well, look at this. Sandwich equals, all right, topping 1 plus, so we've added a topping. Now, this operator that you see here, this is new, Okay, now there are two ways of writing this. I can write, let me show you the way we did it before, and then the new way will make a little bit more sense. The way we did it before is like this: sandwich equals sandwich, whatever it was before, plus the new stuff. And the new stuff is topping 1. And what are we doing after that? We're adding a string here, a comma. And I know it's a string because it's in quotation marks. So let's put our comma in there. And there you go. So these two lines say exactly the same thing. Okay, these two lines right here. The difference is this is a shorter way of saying it. So instead of saying sandwich equals whatever it was before, we use this new operator here, and it means exactly the same thing. So that saves us a few keystrokes. So what are we doing? Sandwich equals whatever it was before plus topping 1. And then sandwich equals whatever it was before, topping 2. And then we're going to finish it off, sandwich equals whatever it was before. And then finally you're going to add a piece of bread to it. But look at this. This function is going to return something to us. It's going to return to us the variable function. Okay, so what is the end result? Okay, the end result is going to be the following. So when we return this, okay, so burger patty and tomato go into topping 1 and topping 2. So let's go ahead and build our sandwich. Sandwich equals bread plus, and then it's going to equal something here, a burger patty. Okay, that's your topping 1. And then it's going to be your topping 2. What was sent in topping 2? In my case, tomato. I think on the course it was pickle, tomato, okay, and then plus, and then we have to finish off our sandwich with a piece of bread, okay. So the return here in the function definition is going to return all of this, and all of this, let me do a cut and paste here, all of this is going to be put into a new variable, and that new variable is going to be called result. So result is going to equal all of that. A piece of bread plus a burger patty plus a tomato plus the final piece of bread. So let's go through this again quickly. Up here is your function call, or sorry, up here is the definition of your function, and down here is your function call. You're using the function, okay? So we're using the function, send 2 pieces of information to the function. So we send in burger patty and pickle or tomato. That's what the function receives. And then we put it together and we create a variable called sandwich. We build it up. Piece of bread, then add a topping, then add another topping, then add a final piece of bread. That's the final value for sandwich, and then we return it. That gets returned here and set to result, and that's our result. So if that was confusing, don't worry too much about it for now. Just play around with it in the Codecademy and we'll understand it later. So let's go ahead and follow the instructions here. Okay, so we're putting it all together and then we click run and it gives us our final hamburger result. Okay, so let me stop right here.